Good afternoon. Welcome to the Midday Mull for Saturday, the 6th of November. Continuing with Robert Murray McShane, we're reading through 2 Kings, and today we were reading chapter 19. In it, King Sennacherib, king of Assyria, comes to attack Jerusalem, and he sends his commander, who insults King Hezekiah and says, "I've destroyed all the other nations, I will destroy you as well. And if you're trusting in your God to deliver you, don't do that, because I've destroyed all the other gods as well." King Hezekiah goes to God in prayer, and he says to him in verse 17, "It is true, Lord, that the Assyrian kings have laid waste these nations and their lands. They have thrown their gods into the fire and destroyed them, for they are not gods, but only wood and stone, fashioned by human hands." And so he lays the situation before God, and God essentially says to him, "I've heard your prayer, and I've heard the king of Assyria's insults, and this is what I say to him." And I struck by verse 25. God says essentially to the king of Assyria, "Have you not heard? Long ago I ordained it. In days of old I planned it. Now I have brought it to pass, that you have turned fortified cities into piles of stone." And so what he's saying to the king of Assyria is, the fact that you've turned these fortified cities into piles of stone, that was my doing. I planned that long time ago already, and I finally brought it to fulfillment using you. You are a tool in my hand, achieving my purposes. So how you think you can turn around to me and say that you'll destroy me? Forget it. I'll have you under my control. You're my instrument. And that is an encouragement to us, particularly in a world today where people turn away from God, are very quick to write God off as irrelevant, write the church off as nonsense, make fun of people's faith. That's fine. They're sounding more and more like the king of Assyria. And we need to remember that in the same way that God had that king of Assyria in his hand and was using him for his purposes, God has the world in his hand. He has every single international leader in his hand. He has us and every single one of our friends in his hand, and he achieves his purposes. And so we don't have to worry when people insult us. We don't have to try and get even. We don't have to be rude back to them. We can just smile wryly and think, if only you could see the truth. The truth is, God is in control, whether you like to acknowledge it or not. So be encouraged, particularly in intense days, in days when things seem to be going wrong, when there are people against us, when it seems like the church is losing ground and the kingdom of God is being rolled back. No, it's not. God is still absolutely, completely in control. That is our confidence, and that is our future. And for that, we rejoice.